Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are moving higher this morning, with S&P futures up 0.12%, Dow futures up 0.03%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.17%. All in all, futures are relatively unchanged and markets unaffected ahead of a key Fed meeting, and that's likely because the bank is unlikely to signal scaling back of bond purchases until later this year, and the dot plot economists expect to point to an interest rate increase won't be until 2023. Treasuries, on the other hand, have been climbing higher. The 10-year Treasury yield has pulled back under 1.5%, and the dollar remains steady. Elsewhere in markets, crude oil is trading around $71 a barrel as investors weigh the outlook for rising demand against extended antivirus curbs in some economies. Over in Europe, equities were led higher by chemical firms, while over in Asia, stocks were mixed. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
What do I see? Listen, the S&Ps are, trading higher. They're holding on to the gains this morning. The overnight session was kind of muted. We were in a tight trading range, it seemed, all last night and all morning long. Got to be prepared. There's a number of key economic reports coming out in the pre-market, including retail sales and the May PPI report, which is the final demand number. I think futures are going to react to these reports. And I anticipate these reports to really set the tone for the day. Tomorrow's Fed announcement is really the key economic event for the day. And right now it seems as if there's no fear of the Fed announcement. There's some news on Capitol Hill as some of the Senate Republicans are today. They're going to hear some details from a bipartisan group about a proposal to revitalize American roads, bridges. And this could win support as part of Biden's infrastructure plan. So overall, I'm still positive on the markets. I'm concerned about oil prices. Oil prices are steady, and they are displaying slight gains this morning. That EIA statement on Friday, which forecasted, increasing shale output, is a concern because that's more production. And the EIA expects production from the shale producers to rise about 38,000 barrels per day in July. With oil trading significantly above the break-even price, the shale producers are really incentivized to bring back more production. So that would lead to increased supply, which leads to lower prices. So I'm watching oil prices very closely this morning, and as well as earnings.
Well, moving into earnings to watch, I know we weren't seeing too much from yesterday, but Bill, how about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
Well, today after the close is really when we start seeing some earnings reports from some of the bigger names. Oracle, for example, they're supposed to release earnings today after the close. The estimate's out there for $1.31. Their expected price move is is 4.84%. H&R Block is also releasing after the close today. Their EPS is $5.13, expecting a 6.15% move here. Lazy Boy after the close today as well. EPS is 74 cents, an 8.76% move is expected. Wednesday, we have Lanier, the home builder. Estimates there for $2.36 with a 5% move. Thursday morning, we have Kroger. Earnings estimates are for $1 with a 5.05% move anticipated, as well as Adobe releasing Thursday after the close. EPS estimate is $2.81, and the expected move is 4.8%. Oracle never really seems to be able to make a significant gain when they release earnings, no matter how good they are. So I'm always cautious on Oracle, and I don't play it going into earnings just because it has a history. Even if they blow out earnings, they just don't seem to be able to gain traction off of an earnings report. So this is what I'm watching in terms of the earnings report, the upcoming earnings report, Shane.
Let's go ahead and move into economic reports. Bill, tell us what we're seeing there.
At 8:30, we have the all-important retail sales numbers for May coming out. We also have the PPI final demand for May and the Empire State Manufacturing Index, which is all three of these reports are coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. At 8:55, we have the Red Book on retail sales. At 9:15, we have a report on industrial production. 10 o'clock, the business inventories report is due out, as well as the housing market index.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on GasLog Partners, ticker GLOP. The company has announced 2 new time charter agreements with leading global energy producers. The agreements include a 1-year time charter for the GasLog Sydney with a subsidiary of Total beginning this week, as well as an 8-month time charter for the Solaris with a subsidiary of Royal Dutch Shell. GasLog share price is up 2.29% in pre-market, and Royal Dutch Shell is up 0.51%. In other news, the UK CMA is launching a market study into Apple, ticker AAPL, and Google, ticker GOOGL, and concerns over their control on the mobile ecosystems, which UK CMA is worried is stifling competitions across digital markets. So more on that to come. In other news, Rocket Lab has won a NASA contract to design 2 Photon spacecrafts for scientific missions to Mars. The SPAC tied to Rocket Lab Vector Acquisition, ticker VACQ, is up 2.45% in pre-market. In other news, the U.S. and European Union agreed to extend a tariff truce for 5 years over aircraft subsidies given to Airbus and Boeing, ticker BA, that led to duties on each other's exports. Trade Representative Catherine Tai told reporters in Brussels that the tariffs would remain suspended as long as the terms of the agreement are upheld and while they work on addressing issues including outstanding subsidies already paid. Boeing's share price is up 0.72% in pre-market. In other news, the U.S. Supreme Court dismissed a lower court ruling that barred Microsoft, ticker MSFT unit, LinkedIn from stopping HiQ Labs from accessing information that LinkedIn members had shared on the professional networking platform. The judges asked the San Francisco-based 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeal to reconsider the case. In 2017, to note, LinkedIn had asked HiQ to stop accessing LinkedIn's public profiles. HiQ then sued LinkedIn and in 2017 was granted a preliminary injunction. In other news, Solid Power is set to become a publicly traded company through a merger with Decarbonization Plus Acquisition 3, ticker DCRC. The combined business value is an implied $1.2 billion and will trade on NASDAQ under the ticker symbol SLDP. DCRC's share price is down 5.71% in pre-market. In other news, Clean Energy, ticker CLNE, is up over 8% in pre-market after receiving continued attention and focus from Reddit's Wall Street Bets forum. In other news, AstraZeneca, ticker AZN, new data from the Public Health England has demonstrated that the company's COVID-19 vaccine offers high levels of protection against the Delta variant of COVID-19. Other news on AstraZeneca is that its Storm Chaser trial for its new long-acting antibody combination for post-exposure prevention of COVID-19 did not meet primary endpoints. AstraZeneca's share price is up 0.27% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, India's Competition Commission is planning to expedite its renewed antitrust investigation against Amazon, ticker AMZN, and Walmart, ticker WMT, subsidiary Flipkart. The agency plans to demand information from both companies related to allegations that they favored select sellers on their e-commerce platforms and that their deep discounting tactics harmed competition. These allegations are something that the companies have both denied. Amazon and Flipkart are likely to appeal the commission's latest move. Legal challenges from both companies delayed the investigation for over a year until the court ruled last week that the probe should continue. Walmart's share price is up 0.25% in pre-market, while Amazon's is down 0.01%. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific segments. I'm looking for news on industries. I'm looking for news on events. And with news where I can just really quickly access this information and decide whether, I should get in if there's going to be some good price action to take advantage of. I start off with my FANG alert every morning and Facebook, ticker FB. The EU ruling between Facebook and the Belgian Data Protection Authority is expected to come out later today. Tesla, I see that their Model Y demand is really skyrocketing. Long range variant nearly sold out for the Q3. My Dow Jones 30 alert. I caught that Boeing Airbus story. That's a positive story. It really comes together because these two companies are really trying to fend off competition from an upstart Chinese airplane manufacturer. On Disney, Disney apparently saw double-digit increases in their upfront ad sales, according to the CEO at a conference yesterday. And Microsoft, that LinkedIn story you just mentioned. This is, a clear example of how anti-competitive behavior really, benefits that these larger tech companies are doing to squash smaller competition. Because with HQ Labs, what's interesting that isn't really out there is that Microsoft came out with a similar product after noticing what HIQ Labs was doing. Moving over to the airlines, I see Southwest Airlines, that's ticker LUV, Larry under Victor. The airline, resumed flight operations across the U.S. late Monday after they had been delayed for hours due to a technical glitch in their weather information system. The company said it was due to third-party weather data provider that experienced intermittent performance issues. Moving over to my option alerts. I see that the bank stocks have low implied volatility going into the FOMC policy decision. JP Morgan, for example, a 30-day option implied volatility is at 23. 52-week range is 21 to 54. Goldman Sachs, ticker GS, the 30-day option volatility is 26 compared to the 52-week range of 23 to 50. Morgan Stanley, it's also in this group. 30-day option implied volatility is at 27, whereas in the 52-week range is 25 to 55. So the volatilities are actually rather low in the bank stocks ahead of the FOMC policy decision tomorrow. In terms of events that are coming up today, Five Below, that's ticker FIVE, and NASDAQ, that's ticker NDAQ at 9 a.m. this morning. These two firms are having their shareholders meeting. At 11 a.m., eBay, ticker EBAY, Elvis Boy, Apple Yellow, they're having their shareholders meeting. At 12, and then at 12 o'clock, we have ATVI, which is Activision, Apple, Tom, Victor, India. At 2:30, MetLife, ticker MET. These guys are also having their shareholders meeting, as well as Monster Beverage at 7:30 p.m. At 17:30, which is about 5:30 p.m. MSTR will be having their annual shareholders meeting. And lastly, in terms of an interesting guidance update, I noticed Deutsche Bank put a catalyst call buy idea on ticker ODFL, Oscar David Frank Larry this morning, which is one to watch.
Moving into our trade talk picks for today, I'm picking one that we spoke about, Boeing, ticker BA. So the news about this agreement with the European Union to extend this tariff truce for 5 years, great news, and something that's going to give a little push for Boeing, I suspect. It's only up 0.72% in pre-market, so there's definitely some room to move, and I imagine it's going to make that move. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going with Kroger. That's ticker KR, Kilo Richard. It's an earnings play. Earnings are due out Thursday morning, and they're currently priced for a move of 5.05%. Yesterday I noticed Kroger had a call put ratio of 3-to-1, 3.1 calls to every one put, which is solid going into an earnings release. Their store traffic has been pretty solid. It's going to be very comparable numbers as to last quarter. So I'm expecting Kroger to start showing a little bit of movement higher. And I think we're going to grab that 1% out of Kroger this morning in ticker KR.
Moving into what's hot off the press, this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak. That'll be moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, Bill, seeing our newsware headlines streaming in, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Mara, this is Marathon Digital, ticker MARA, Michael Apple, Richard Apple. These guys are set to join the Russell 2000 index. WBA, this is Walgreens Booth Alliance, William Boy Apple. They're going to be offering products for same-day service over Uber Eats. Royal Caribbean, ticker RCL, Richard Charlie Larry. They're set to raise $650 million versus senior unsecured note offering. Here's one on the spot on the S&P futures. Bank of America equity flows showing selling across all client groups. This could be signaling, weaker near-term results.
Lithium Motors, ticker LAD. They had a revenue report of $2.1 billion, and they're doing an acquisition of 5 locations across Texas.
Ticker UNH, United Health, under Nancy Happy. United Health Group releases its 2020 sustainability report.
Xperi, ticker XPER. Their subsidiary TiVo has just signed a master service agreement with NCTC.
CVS Pharmacy, ticker CVS, Charlie Victor Sam. They're going to be announcing a major update to its Extra Care Rewards program.
TerraTech, ticker TRTC, has just entered into an agreement to monetize investment in Hydrofarm. News on FedEx, ticker FDX. They've got a busy schedule. They're delivering 1.35 million COVID-19 doses to Mexico. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing today, Shane.
Same here, so that'll do it for what's hot off the press. Traders, keep in mind you can receive the same breaking stories that we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. It'll definitely up your trading game. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Monday. I had Royal Dutch Shell, and that was Class B, which opened at $39.13 and went as high as $39.62 just before 11 a.m. for a 1.25% gain. From there, the price gradually dropped lower and basically traded about where it started. In pre-market, however, today, the stock is seeing some gains again. So if you sold, there was, good chance to make some gains. If you held, you'll probably find a way to make some similar gains today, but it was a good move. And my second pick was Novavax, ticker NVAX, which opened at $225.44, which we knew was too high. And we said, wait for some morning weakness on this one. And sure enough, it came just 15 minutes after the open. The stock was down to $207 and $207.08. If you waited a little bit longer, it even dropped to $201.36 to roughly $202 level for just after 11:30 a.m. So moving into the afternoon, stock went back up, went as high as $214 for a 6.27% gain. And there was just many opportunities to sell at least at $210 range before the stock ultimately closed lower at $207.71. So if you held the stock, it is moving higher again today. It's already back up to $212.50. So again, another one where if you timed it well, good opportunity to make a few points up to 6%. And if you held it, it's going back up to as high as it was yesterday. So good move overall on both of those picks. How did yours end up doing, Bill?
Well, I did one with Lazy Boy. That's ticker LZB, Larry Zebra Boy. It performed well. It opened up at 43.35 and hit a high of 43.92, which, that easily beats the 1% target that we're shooting for. It the percentage move on there from when you take the high away from the open was 1.32%. So it finished at 43. It's finished the day at 42.49, but it really did deliver a nice little pops yesterday morning. It was a good trade.
Nice, good trades all around. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.